Warm Calvary greetings to our very esteemed listeners on this station. I welcome you to End Time Prophetic News, coming to you direct from the Ordained Radio TV Gospel Ministry, situated here at the premises of the Capstone Prophetic Miracle Life Ministry of Joy Ibadan. The online and offline news media have been awash these couple of days, such that it becomes very difficult to track breaking news. The Middle East has become the epicenter of breaking news and center of attraction. We have therefore scanned through all the news and collate news items that matches scriptural prophecies to alert and inform you that all that are happening are just part of prophecy fulfilling. My name is Alfred Jimo, your regular newscaster. Please grab a seat, make yourself comfortable as we dive into what we have for you today. But first, let me serve you the foretaste of the highlights of the news. Escalation of the Iranian and the Middle East war. The world in the threshold of Armageddon. Europe appears ready for the antichrist. At least 1 in 5 citizens want someone like the antichrist. Israel cancels Friday prayers at Al-Aqsa's mosque amid escalation in the Middle East conflict. Are we seeing the gradual taking over of the Temple Mount to pave the way for the erection of the third temple? Time will tell. Now the news in full. Escalations in the Iranian and the Middle East war. The world in the threshold of Armageddon. With the bombardment and heavy use of short and long-range ballistic missiles in the Middle East, targeting Iran and its military installations and leaders on the one hand, and the American military infrastructure in the Gulf region and the nation Israel on the other, global analysts and prophecy watchers are postulating that the world is gradually being pushed into the precipice of the Armageddon prophesied in Revelation chapter 16 verse 16. The USA and Israel has continued the bombardment of Iranian military infrastructure, decapitating leaderships and command structures of Iran, while Iran has continued to send barrage of missiles to Israel and hitting American military installations around the Gulf region. The Iranian action has drawn in other EU and Gulf countries into the arena of the war, as the Iranian strikes are affecting their interests both physically and economically. The oil price has spiked at the international market due to the effects of the war on the energy supply route, as Iran has announced the closure of the Fort of Hormuz. Analysts say, beyond these initial strikes and actions of Iran, seeing that it does not possess the military capability to confront the United States and Israel simultaneously in a conventional war of this nature, may resort to the use of its sleeper cells in Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan, and at the same time activate all its militant cells across the world to commence strikes against America and Israel interests throughout the world. Analysts are also watching the two major superpowers who are strong allies of Iran, i.e. Russia and China, to see what they will eventually do in this critical time. The actions of these two superpowers will no doubt further the intensity of the war. End Time Prophetic News says the ongoing wars is dangerously pushing the world in the direction of Armageddon. Sons of God need to wake up and be alert. Time up. The end is here. Europe appears ready for the antichrist. At least 1 in 5 citizens want someone like the Antichrist. Going by a recent poll conducted by About People, a research and polling company in Greece, Europe appears to be ready for a leader with the characteristic of the Antichrist. The result of the polls recently conducted revealed a disturbing willingness among European citizens to embrace strong, decisive leadership that could bypass democratic process if it promises stability and resource for their society. 1 in every 5 Europeans say they will prefer a dictatorship in certain circumstances, and a quarter admit they would not mind if a capable leader limited democratic rights and acted without accountability, provided he was effective. Paradoxically, however, it is the opinion of some analysts that Europe may not be consciously seeking the Antichrist, as it were, yet millions of Europeans desire a unifying power and decisive leader who can represent the continent boldly and even stand firm against global powers like the United States. This type of leader mirrors the qualities which the scripture attributes to the end-time ruler, Antichrist. According to the Bible prophecy, the Antichrist will exploit precisely this kind of human inclination. He will arrive during a period of disillusionment and desperation, the type which the world is witnessing now, presenting himself as the answer to societal crisis. Those who long for a strong unifying figure will then follow him eagerly, mistaking him for a Messiah. Howbeit, he will turn out to be a false Messiah. Elect of God, watch out. Something ominous is on the horizon. Take your stand and stand with God. Israel cancels Friday prayer at Al-Aqsa's mosque amid escalation in the Middle East conflict. Israel's civil administration has cancelled Friday prayers at the Al-Aqsa's mosque in the eastern Jerusalem. This is the latest in the series of Israeli restrictions imposed at the Islam's third holiest site since the start of the ongoing Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Civil Administrator Chief Brigadier General Hisham Ibrahim said on Thursday via the Israeli Army's Al-Munasik platform that the decision was taken in the light of Iran launching retaliatory strikes at Israel and the entire region. Since the start of the US-Israeli war on Iran, Israeli authorities have barred access to the old city and residence or shop owners. Sheikh Ikrimah Sabri, a senior imam at Al-Aqsa's mosque, has slammed Israel's continued closure of the Islam's third holiest site. According to him, the old city located in eastern Jerusalem has been occupied by Israel since 1967. The site of the Temple Mount located on this eastern East Jerusalem has become a regular target of visits by right-wing Israeli politicians and Israeli settlers, who have stormed the compound on an almost weekly basis and perform religious rituals under the protection of Israeli forces. Palestinians fear Israel's encroachment upon the holy site has increased, with senior ministers offering prayers at the site. The Al-Aqsa's compound is administered by Jordan, but access to the site itself is controlled by Israeli security forces. Under the decades-old status quo maintained by Israel authorities, Jews and other non-Muslims are allowed to visit the compound in occupied eastern Jerusalem during specified hours, but they are not permitted to pray there or display religious symbols. Israel's National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, has reportedly called for Jewish prayers right at the Al-Aqsa's mosque compound and has spoken out against the current status quo. In 2024, he said he will build a synagogue on the mosque compound. Putting all of this into context, with the rising consciousness and demand for the building of the third temple on the site of the old Solomon temple on the Temple Mount, end-time prophetic news says this may be signaling the gradual taking over of the Temple Mount by Israel to pave the way for the erection of the Jewish third temple on the Temple Mount. This is where we shall be returning home on the news expedition for today. Please don't forget to help like, share, comment on this program and indeed all our programs on this station. My name once again is Alfred Jimo. From all of us here in the studio, it is bye for now. Stay rapturable. Maranatha.